Hello and welcome to What's Cooking Rutland. It is spring, yay! This is our May show, May for salads, spring salads. Part of Rutland's Nutrition Coalition that brings you this show each month. And there it is, spring salads. That's what we're doing. And have to have Donna on when we're talking about a bazillion vegetables. So Donna Hunt is back, registered dietitian at the Diabetes and Endocrinology Center. I think I got all the syllables out. Yeah.
Answer the phone quickly with that.
I bet, and yeah, that's a mouthful. It's a mouthful, kind of like my title, Mouthfuls. So yeah, it was fun. I think we kicked off the new year talking about lots of fruits and vegetables, and here we are a few months later, and it finally, knock on wood, wherever it might be, is getting warm outside. And so how did everybody do with their healthy resolutions? And it's time to start lightening up what we eat, because we don't need to be doing lots of chili and all of those kinds of foods in the winter to stay warm. And so salads are what we're bringing to you today, and it's a variety of salads. So working with some proteins, with some pasta, lots of vegetables, some that are available locally now, others that you're gonna have to wait for. Yeah, so we're gonna dive in. So we've got a Asian tofu salad that we're gonna play with, a pasta salad with shrimp that we're going to play with, a version of a Cobb salad that will deck out on a big platter. And if we get there in our half hour, so we'll work with what we both...
Slice and dice fast.
I know, slice and dice fast, because we really want to get to this one. It's interesting. It's cantaloupe and cucumber, so it just really sounds really light and refreshing and very thinking summery almost, which I am ready for. Oh my goodness gracious. So this tofu salad, I've done a little bit of head because it required some marinating, and you know we only have our 30 minutes and it needed to marinate. So the tofu salad started with a marinade. I'm gonna get rid of this foil. Oh, look at this, there it is, yay. That was a little reduced sodium soy sauce, some natural peanut butter. I've never played with like sweet chili sauce. Have you, Donna? This was a new thing for me.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And it is yummy.
It's
you
yummy.
think of it that it's going to be really hot, but it's not.
But it's not. So yeah, so that was kind of a fun ingredient to work with. And then ginger and garlic. And so that all got whisked together in this little bowl. And then with the tofu, it was patting it dry. This is an extra firm tofu, so it's going to hold its shape when it's cooked. And then I drizzled a few tablespoons of the sauce on top of the tofu, let it sit for a half hour, you know, tossed it, turned it a couple of times, and so it should really be ready to go. And so now we're going to cook that up using a little sesame oil. This could be interesting. The recipe calls for a non-stick pan. We don't have a non-stick pan with us, so it could get a little messy. We'll just go with it. I'm realizing I don't have something to turn with. So we're going to heat this up, and Donna's cutting pepper because we need a lot of red bell pepper in the various salads. So I'm going to carefully drizzle about a teaspoon or so of sesame oil, one of our favorite yummy flavors. It does, it smells so,
and you don't need much
good.
Of it.
No, you don't. It's a really, really strong flavor. The recipe itself calls for jicama that you'll see, but couldn't find any jicama, so we went with celery root, which is going to work just fine as an alternative.
Does jicama grow?
I think of it as a South American vegetable. So I'm just going to move this sesame oil around.
This is a nice big pepper.
It is. It makes it really easy to cut.
Yes.
And then in goes this tofu. So what's nice about having a big skillet, and I guess I could have brought in my electric skillet, which is a nice non-stick surface, is that all of this tofu, and this is a pound of tofu that's just been cut into 12 pieces.
Did you say what kind of tofu it was?
It's an extra firm.
Extra firm.
Extra firm, because yeah, any of the other ones will have a tendency to fall apart. This is going to just really hold its shape because it's going to get plunked on top of the salad. So all of these, most of these salads are kind of sort of these assembly line projects of, you know, different things going into a serving dish at once.
And tofu is one of those things that a lot of people, me included, are a little bit, I don't want to say afraid of, but you know, I just don't do it much. And I know it's one of those things that it takes on the flavor of whatever you put it with. So it's really a matter of having a good recipe that does the trick for you.
Yeah, so you know, having this peanut butter sauce is going to add a lot of nice flavor. And I think that's one of the things that I like is I'm grating carrots here. And going to look at what I'm doing so I don't add a little Bethany knuckles to the carrots as we're grating. That's what I like about tofu is that it doesn't have a lot of flavor.
Right.
So it does take on anything around it. And we actually do a lot with tofu. And a lot of times with a peanut sauce, they're so easy to make. And so this was really a recipe that was a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of chili sauce, a generous tablespoon of peanut butter, and it just really becomes a nice simple thing. Or I'll saute with a lot of onion, garlic, and ginger. And a lot of times I'll even cube it and then saute with onions and then toss with lots of vegetables. So it just takes on whatever its neighbors are.
Yep.
So that's going to need just a couple of minutes on each side. So we're going to keep letting that simmer away while we grate up some of these other vegetables. Oh, those peppers look beautiful.
So I am starting over here the shrimp because I really want to get to that cantaloupe thing. The 1 cup, oops, I just dumped in all of the pasta. Just 1 cup.
Well, it was
of
1 cup, yeah.
Pasta. So we will actually measure.
And maybe a little bit more because it was 1 cup uncooked pasta. So that's going to expand a little bit, right? Somebody was just asking me, Donna, about what those expansion equivalents were, and I was just like,
I say like roughly it increases about 25 to 50%.
Okay, so 1 cup would
1
turn
cup
into
would be like 1.5-ish.
Yeah, cups.
Ish.
Okay. It's just always
doing
a
a
good word,
lot of ish
but I
lately.
And it's like I should keep those equivalents straight in my brain for rice and grains and quinoa, and I just don't, and I often have to go look them up. All right, I am not going to grate any more of this carrot because if I do, I'm going to end up in it.
1 cup of red sweet pepper, 1 pound of fresh cooked shrimp thawed.
Yep, that's a little less than a pound.
Got that. And okay, a third of a cup of creamy onion or Caesar salad dressing. We could say that this is creamy onion or Caesar salad dressing, but it's actually poppy seed dressing because it's what Bethany had. So, and this is actually a 1/3 cup here, right? Is it measured? Should I measure it?
It's not measured. I just poured.
I'm not a big measure, so
Oh my gosh, everybody see that? We're going down in history here. Donna is not measuring one of those dressings. Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's see.
It's a good idea to always measure things, particularly things that have fat in them, and particularly things that are baked products.
Yeah, baked for sure because you're dealing with a little food chemistry in there.
So I will do just a smidge less than a tablespoon. Yum.
Ooh, this is fun. Have you played with celery root before?
No.
Okay, so we're both new to this. I'm actually kind of sort of excited about it. I'm going to turn off the tofu. Boom. Yeah, I am too. So I'm really kind of excited. So I just kind of cut off the little funky bottom, and I'm going to see if this vegetable peeler, oh yeah, these guys have an awesome vegetable peeler, to peel this. It's this, interesting root vegetable that can get either shredded or cut into sticks and added to salads, which is kind of sort of what you do with jicama, which I think of as being like the equivalent, a starchier vegetable, and I don't know what the starch content is of celery root. Do you know anything? Sorry.
Don't. You had to ask me that on
I know,
air.
Of course. Sorry, but I don't either. So 2 nutritionists who, we're playing with a new food here. I'll have to go look it up in my
Siri,
encyclopedia.
huh?
Yeah, exactly. Who has a phone? I do have this awesome encyclopedia at home.
This looks delicious.
Oh, that does look great.
And what's so nice about this kind of a thing is you don't need much on the pasta, but you're making a yummy pasta salad. But you really don't.
And really, really quick, look at that. Donna's like whip that together in a few minutes. Now, yes, the pasta was cooked ahead of time, but the pasta only cooked for 7 minutes or so. But we used, so kind of going down this road of talking about the pasta, I used a whole grain pasta. You've talked about Dreamfields in the past.
Yes, Dreamfields is a wonderful, and I forgot the goat cheese on top.
It'll be beautiful on top.
Cutting a little bit of goat cheese onto the top, and that just gives it a little extra zing and a little pretty garnish to it. But yes, Dreamfields is a wonderful pasta that has a particular type of fiber in it called inulin. And inulin is a type of fiber that when it gets together with the other fibers that are naturally in any type of pasta, whether it's whole wheat or just regular white pasta, all those fibers get together and they sort of form this big mesh and network of all of these fibers. And it makes it so that the digestible carbohydrate is not so digestible.
Okay.
The enzymes and the digestive juices just have a hard time getting into it because all this conglomeration of all these fibers. So it decreases the digestibility of the carbohydrate.
Okay.
And all these fibers are such healthy, good fibers for the gut flora, for all of our different microbes in our colon. And so it's just a very good, healthier type of pasta. The one thing with it, though, is as that fiber sits and relaxes, so if you're making a pasta salad and not serving it until later today or tomorrow, or if you have leftovers, those that network of all those fibers just sort of relaxes, and then it is more digestible. So you lose the benefit of it if you've cooked it ahead. So Dreamfields is a little more expensive. So general recommendation is to use that type for if you're eating it right now. But then use a whole wheat pasta if you're cooking it for tomorrow, or if you're freezing the meal or whatever.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. And this is, I just got Barilla whole grain pasta, which I don't think this is 100% whole grain, right?
No, but it does have quite a bit of fiber in it.
It does have quite a bit of fiber. It's actually not bad.
7 grams of fiber.
7 grams is really good.
So looking at the total carbs minus the dietary fiber, so in this case it's 39 grams of total carb minus the 7, so 32 grams of carb in 2-ounce serving, which is roughly about a cup and a quarter or so.
Okay, that's why I love having a dietitian on this show. That was great.
I'm guessing at that.
It was great. All right, so back to the tofu salad, I think. Where are we at? So we've thrown together our faux jicama with celery root in here, some carrots, some pepper. The recipe calls for romaine lettuce. I just have this big box of like a spring mixed lettuce, and we're just going to, it says for 4 cups, so I'm thinking a handful is going to be a cup. Because it all depends on how tightly you pack it. It's all going to go into this large bowl, and we're going to toss it together. And then I know, and actually hands are washed. I think there's just so much in here. We're just going to do the finger method. And then this is going to get put onto a plate. So again, other than marinating, so this is going to go onto a plate. So we're just going to fill that. Ooh, pretty colors. Get a little bit more color there. And we're going to put a couple pieces of tofu on top. Oh, very excited. And then garnish this with a little bit of cilantro. If you're a cilantro fan, cilantro is one of those love-hate kinds of things. So we've just picked some cilantro already. Some unsalted dry roasted peanuts to go on top to complement that peanut butter. And then add a little bit more of the salad dressing. So the marinade also turns into the salad dressing. So this is pretty awesome. Like, I made dressing. You know, this is the girl who doesn't make dressing. Here it is. I did it. You did it. So unusual. And so we're going to just drizzle that dressing on top. And oh my gosh, I'm like wanting to chomp right into this now, but I'm going to wait. So there we have 2 salads made. Donna's ready to dive into the melon cucumber. Go for it. I'm going to clean up my space just a smidge and then start chopping vegetables to work on a Cobb. Or actually, while you start cutting veggies, maybe, so Cobb salad is Cobb salad, right? It's avocado, it's hard-cooked egg, it's, you know, vegetables on top of greens, and for most people also means bacon. And so this is, you know, I don't eat bacon anymore, just haven't done it in a long time. Bacon is all the rage for an awful lot of people. But this recipe calls for turkey bacon, which it was really kind of interesting when I was in the store in the bacon aisle kind of studying everything. And there's actually a pretty significant nutritional difference between the fat content, yeah, as well as even I think the sodium content.
The sodium, yep.
I was really surprised. So it's like, okay, yeah, gonna go to that turkey bacon. So I'm gonna get it going in the microwave because that's how I always grew up cooking bacon, was in the microwave, which the nice thing is then the fat, any fat is absorbed. WIC code there up on the screen. So if you or someone you know is participating in the WIC program, watch this program either live on television, so to say, faux live, or online, and call in the code to your office, and food for the next quarter work up. So bacon, oh my gosh, here we go. I'm sliding over here. And
so I am starting the dressing here for this, and it's a tablespoon of...
Notice I have Donna on the second dressing. But it's so easy.
Tablespoon of balsamic, a tablespoon of olive oil, and it's actually white balsamic.
Yeah, a white balsamic.
Tablespoon of olive oil, a smidge of salt and pepper, and we'll just whisk that up in a minute. And then we cut up the half a large cantaloupe cubed, a half of a large cucumber, halved lengthwise and sliced, and then feta cheese, basil, and mint. Yum. So I totally go both ways on whether to peel or not to peel a cucumber. If it's right out of the garden, I say definitely don't peel. You can fork to give that little bit of a prettiness to it. But yeah.
So really here on a microwavable plate that's lined with a paper towel, I've just put 3 pieces of this turkey bacon on it, and it's going to go into the microwave for about a minute and a half or so. And then again, that paper towel is going to absorb whatever fat is here. The thing about turkey bacon, it is kind of sort of already cooked because it's turkey that's been processed, but you still need to finish cooking it off because it's a processed meat in the microwave. Now,
what's nice about turkey bacon is you don't get nearly the fat mess. And
right. And so while Donna's playing with cantaloupe, then with Cobb salad, there are just a lot of veggies to cut up. So some of them are done already. I already roasted 4 red beets, and so nice dark bright red. And because I didn't want to be covered with beet juice here, they're already peeled and cut. But roasting them, it's super easy. A really hot oven, 400 degrees. These were washed, tops and bottoms cut off, and just kind of stacked in a bag, so to say, of aluminum foil or a nest that I built around it, and baked for about 45 minutes. Let them cool, and then the skins actually really slide off really easily, but it's still beets, so they're pretty messy. So those are ready to go. 3 hard-cooked eggs. I know, I love them. 3 hard-cooked eggs, so I'm going to just, peel these little guys, get them chopped, and we're going to just use this big, beautiful platter to just kind of line greens and then make some rows, so we'll have a really decorative, festive salad once we get going. I hear bacon like popping away back here. Looks good.
Do you have any recommendations on like the easiest way to do a cantaloupe?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you just
you just kind of
you
just kind of go with it. And I don't know what are your tricks of the trade for choosing a ripe one? Do you have any?
Mostly just that squeezing it. I will smell it to see if it smells sort of melony.
Okay. Yeah, that's about the same. I think sometimes like poking around the end where it was on the stem, that it becomes another way if it's tender. So yeah, and this bacon kind of cooked up pretty well.
Where I usually smell it is right around
the end.
And
I'm going to plunk that there. So, when I was thinking about what we were going to do for this show, Donna, I was thinking salads because it's spring, because thinking about warmer weather, lightening up what we eat. But so we didn't even talk about this ahead of time, and I was just going to dive right in. Sometimes I think people they're revisiting their weight loss goals, and they may be wanting to just like eat salad, the diet, die with the tea kind of thing. And so salads, I mean, how much?
All depends on the salads, because you can get a salad out at a restaurant that can be twice or 3 times as many calories as a piece of steak and potato and broccoli. So you just really have to be aware of what's in the salad. What kind of crunchies and all those little add-ons are in it, what kind of salad dressing, how heavy is the salad dressing on it. Can you, either bring your own light salad dressing, or if the restaurant has a dressing, ask for it on the side, a dressing that you particularly like, ask for it on the side so you can control how much salad dressing is going onto it. Going light on the salad dressing, and then you can always put more on, if you're tossing the salad at home before sitting down to the table, which is generally a really nice way to do it, because you can typically use a little bit less salad when you toss it before, get better coverage of the vegetables.
Yep.
The other thing is with dressings, trying, if it's a bottled dressing and it's a higher fat dressing, if it's like a thick, creamy blue cheese, for instance, you can dilute it down with either just adding a little bit of skim milk to it and shake it up, or adding some low-fat yogurt to it. We'll talk about the yogurt that we're going to use in the Cobb salad is a light blue cheese blue cheese dressing that's made with yogurt. So it gives that nice little tanginess to it that you oftentimes like in a salad dressing, the vinegar kind of a thing. So the thing is you can have a really high-fat salad, or you can have a very light, healthy salad.
Some fat is still going to be important, though, because if you really eliminate all of it, then you lose the satiety value in terms of feeling full or food sticking with you. So, but it becomes, I think, choosing the kind of fat. So this Cobb salad's going to have avocado on it, so then you can, use less of the dressing. And what I like about that shrimp salad was what, just 2 tablespoons of salad dressing all together, right? A tablespoon and a tablespoon?
It was a third of a cup for that one. This one is just third of just 1 tablespoon of oil.
And so that's for the whole thing. So you're just not using a lot, so just really being conscious of that.
But you're exactly right that you do not want to go fat-free on everything. Fat-free is not necessary, and just as you said, Bethany, that we need some fat for the satiety value. If you don't have, if it's such a low-fat meal, you are going to be starving later.
Yeah, and
so
that's
protein
not
and
gonna be
fat,
any fun.
protein and fat and fiber are the three things that really stay with us
right.
for longer.
So I'm just like cutting some cherry tomatoes. I'm just making these rows. So this isn't an individual salad. I'm making what would be served. So we've got some yellow or orange and red cherry and grape tomatoes that we're going to make a little row. I think it's going to be kind of a progressive color thing. I'm thinking about it, going from the white and yellow egg to the orange and red tomatoes to the bright red beet tomatoes. I was just talking
what flag
to
is
him.
that? Is that the Italian flag?
It could be, it could be, it could be.
Something.
I was just talking to somebody about eating the rainbow, and so I'm kind of sort of building a rainbow here because then we're going to have avocado on the end.
Then this calls for 3 tablespoons of crumbled feta cheese. Another one of those love-hate kind of
I know,
foods.
yeah, that is one of those, yeah.
I particularly love it, but
love feta cheese.
and 1 tablespoon of fresh basil and 1 tablespoon of fresh mint.
And, you know, it's really not quite basil season, so it's really hard to find basil. So the basil that I found is something that's only lightly dried. Once it opens, it has to stay in the refrigerator. So I think it's going to be pretty close.
I like those. It's a new.
Yeah, it's a new thing. And I just thought it would be a little better than just my dried basil. So avocado, I have learned how to cut an avocado, and it cut beautifully.
Isn't that this cute?
Isn't that cute?
Cup?
I know.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Oh man, does that smell
And it
good.
looks good. You know, it's definitely something in between fresh and not really what would be dried in the herb area. And yeah.
Is that in the right in
regular
the
grocery store in the produce department? Yep, in the produce department.
Go figure.
So I'm just going to add a little bit more avocado to the end of this Cobb salad, crumble a little bacon over the top, and then Donna, you brought me a yogurt blue cheese dressing that we're going to use for this one.
Very good friend of mine turned me on to that, and it is a yummy, just sort of a light and fresh kind of a blue cheese dressing. It's yummy to dip veggies into or to use as a salad dressing, whatever. It's just a nice, but it does have actual chunks of blue cheese in it.
Okay, so it really does have blue cheese in it.
It has real blue cheese in it.
This is looking really yummy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So salads, and you know, so these are, a lot of them have that little bit of protein, little bit of fat, so that we have 3 salads that really could work well as main course salads. Great to bring for lunch. And then, oh, that cucumber one is looking fabulous with the melon, just a really nice light summer salad. So yeah, wow, we got to it. I'm so excited. Yay, we did it. So this is fun, really, really awesome. So salads for spring, it's really, really here. We're gonna put these in front so everybody can see one last time, kind of clear our space and see how beautiful these look. Oh my goodness gracious, I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. So a bunch of different salads. So Cobb here with a little bit of everything. A tofu salad, so with the peanut sauce, so hopefully that can get folks into the tofu world, a soy protein. A shrimp salad with spinach, and then this just a vegetable only one. Well done there with the camera. The cantaloupe and the cucumber. So this is great. It's spring foods, lightening things up. Thanks for joining us. Next month, a friend of mine from Middlebury is coming down, and we're going to be thinking about hiking season and what are trail snacks and some different trail snacks, so not your ordinary
basic trail mix.
Out hiking. Yeah, something a little bit more interesting. So we'll see you then for our next show. In the meantime, happy gardening. It is the season, outdoor farmers market. I'll see you there, and I don't even know which one to try first. They all look so good. Thanks, everybody. Oh my goodness.